of Des Moines. I'm picking something up that I have wanted for a long time. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm gonna have to do a few things to what I'm picking up, and I almost feel like I'm stealing this. Well, 2.5 hours later and half a tank of gas, almost back to the shop. Got a really good deal on this. Like I said, I feel like I stole it from the guy. I'll show you what I got here in a minute. So I'll show you what I picked up today. It's right in there. Pretty hot day today in central Iowa. It's supposed to be up around 90 today. I'm not sure what it got to. Really humid this morning, sun's out, and rather warm compared to what we've had. It's supposed to be down in the 60s, I think, this next week. Upper 60s, lower 70s. Should we show them, Mox? This is what I was all excited about. I've been looking for one of these tailgates for a while, and I always liked this style with the big Ford across the back. This one looks like at one time it did have that big silver piece that goes across the back. I'm gonna have to weld these holes up, get some little round pieces of metal, weld them in there, sand it all down, paint the letters, paint the tailgate, and I'm going to put that on my truck. The tailgate that's on my truck, absolutely nothing wrong with it. And these pieces are mighty expensive if you have to buy a new one. I think they're like $300 or $400, maybe $5. They're pretty expensive. But I've wanted a tailgate like this for some time. I've seen other people do it, and I think it's gonna look pretty sharp. It's been a couple days. I just got busy doing other things. Haven't worked on the tailgate at all. I'm not exactly sure where I left off, but I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna get started doing here. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna get these holes filled in, and the way I'm gonna do that is, well, I need some circles of metal. Thought about just cutting those out of some of the old sheet metal that I have from when I redid my truck. Then discovered that these little knockouts on these electrical boxes are almost the right size, and actually the metal is about the same thickness. If anything, it might be just a little bit thicker. The holes on these are about 3/4 of an inch, and these are just a little bit bigger than that. But if you take them off, and I just use a sanding disc on this one, but if you grind them down just a little bit, then you can get them to, well, I might need to do a little bit more, but they'll fit. Get them to fit in those holes, and then you can just go around, weld them in, smooth them out with a little body filler, sand it all down, and we'll be ready to go. I do believe when I get all of these out, cut to size, and that thing is really stuck on the bottom of there right now, and cut to size, I'm gonna paint these up with some weld-through primer, and then I may just put some regular paint on them, and most likely the regular paint's just gonna bubble off when I weld them up, but it's about all I can do at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock all these out, get them ground down to size, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Pretty cool day here in central Iowa this morning. It's about 10 o'clock right now and about 60 degrees out. The beans are really turning over here. They're all getting yellow out here too. Not sure how good you can see that in the camera, but we will be combining probably 3-4 weeks, something like that. So I got all 6 of those little circles cut out, and I gotta finish sanding the rest of them. Taking the sanding disc around the edge, get them a little more circular and fine-tuned. But that's what I'm going for right there. Should be able to come in here and put a little weld right around the edge of that and get all 6 of those big holes filled in. And then, like I said, put some filler on them, get it all sanded down nice and smooth. You'll never know. This tailgate's going to be painted green, the same color as my truck. And then the lettering is going to be done in the white. And I think that's going to look pretty sharp. Only problem I may have right at the moment is I am about out of welding gas. Darn near empty. I really doubt I have enough to do this job, so I may have to go get a tank of gas. And that means going to Des Moines, which is going to waste another hour and a half. I also noticed on this tailgate it didn't come with the cables, and it also didn't come with, where do they go? I think they go up, I think they attach up here. But I have the cables, a little wind right here, I have the cables on my old tailgate. Yeah, it didn't come with these bolts here that they have a groove in them around here for this cable to ride in. So I'm gonna have to swipe these off of here along with the cables, and then everything will be just fine. One other thing with that tailgate that I'm gonna do that I didn't do with this tailgate, I never painted this tailgate. I got this tailgate off of a guy that was doing a project truck, and he ended up not using it. Just happened to be the same color. But one thing I'm going to do with that tailgate is I'm going to run that white stripe along the bottom. So I got tailgate set up on some sawhorses, got the truck moved out of here. Don't really want to be welding right next to it and have a hot spark or something flop up on the hood. Got one of these cut out. I got this side is sprayed with weld-through primer, and then I sanded around the hole. This tailgate, the story I got, this tailgate was originally red, and the guy told me it was a factory takeoff of some sort, got put on another truck and painted the color of that truck, and then taken off of that truck, and it got stuck in storage for the past 20 years. So that's why there's red under this. Probably going to end up sanding the whole thing down to bare metal, and then primer and paint. I do have some epoxy primer. I may put that on here. I don't know. But anyway, I have one of these just as a sample here cut out and put it on a magnet. Like so, and then fit it into that hole. Let me get this done. There, I believe I have it in that hole pretty good. If anything, you want it to be down just a little bit because you can fill that with body filler. So I'm gonna put a little tack weld right there. We'll take this magnet off and see where we're sitting. I can't get the camera too close here. I did that one time, and there's a little mark that's down in this corner on the lens, or the cover of the lens, and it kind of got burned. It doesn't interfere with the picture now, but if it would land right in the middle, it would. So I'm just going to tack this on, and then I'll show you what we have. So I got that piece welded in, and that's what we're looking like right now. I guess you can probably see that without the light. And what I did is I welded all the way around it, just little spot welds all the way around, and then sanded it down. Fill that in with a little bit of filler, should be good to go. So I went ahead and I welded all these holes up. I also welded, there were two on this side, 2 on that side, smaller holes, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch around, and I filled them up as well. Turned out pretty decent. Every one of these is a low spot, and I don't think it's something I did. I should have really checked it before I started, but the whole thing is low between these 2 holes right in through here, and this is where that silver panel would have mounted. But every one of them has a little bit of a dip in through here. So I'll have to play with that. I don't think it even looks bad the way it is, but I'd kind of like to get it all smoothed out. Here's another tailgate I got. I don't even remember where this came from or what it's off of or anything. But I came out here, I was checking on it, and it's got low and high spots on it. There's a spot right there, and that's kind of how that other tailgate is. It's a high spot up here, down here, and it's just a little bit low right there in the middle. I'm gonna get it as straight as I can across there. I don't really want any waves in it. I can do it. But really didn't take too long to fill all those holes in. Now to sand this thing down, get those filled in with some body filler, and then we'll start prepping this thing for some paint. Also, before I go, I thought I would just mention Central Oregon Shenanigans. James and Kyle over there doing all sorts of stuff. Go check them out. If you like it, subscribe. I'll link them down below. So give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.